The first thing we're going to talk about on this stream today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, by the way. Hope you're having a good one. The first thing we're going to talk on this stream, kick.com/PaperSin, link in the description below, is this. Do you guys remember David or David? D4VD. The 4vid. You guys remember D4VD? Like, that's how you spell his name, D4VD. David, I guess you can say. You guys remember him? Because if you don't, I'm gonna tell you what I remember about him last time we talked about him. So David, or D4VD, or David, as you whatever you want to call him, he is this, or it was this Fortnite player, which I will be playing later on in the stream. So, like, once again, kick.com/PaperSin, link will be in the description below. But anyway, he was this Fortnite player. He used to make montages, much like I'm doing right now. So anyway, Fortnite player used to make montages, but he would get, copyright struck for the videos that he put up, because he was using other people's songs and not trying to, like, I guess he wasn't doing a very good job of trying to hide the song under it, under everything. Anyway, his mom he was getting frustrated with that. His mom told him, if you want to continue making your Fortnite montages, but you keep having problems with music, why don't you just make your own music? So that's what D4VD, David, all right, I'll stop. That's what David did. He started making his own music, and he started gaining in popularity. He took off, kind of, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to him, to be honest, on that aspect. Music is something that I've been wanting to get back into, but I keep holding myself back. Anyway, so shout out to him on that aspect. Now, during this whole, his takeoff, his musical takeoff, he kind of did some things that, well, he allegedly ended up, I guess not allegedly, at the time it was alleged, he was dating a minor, I believe a 14-year-old. And he was like 19, 20, no, I'm saying 19 or 20, like 18, 19. Pretty sure he was 19. But he was dating a minor. And she would show up in some of his, not music videos, but like his other videos and stuff like that. And people think that he made a song about her. Actually, the song about her in question, excuse me, is pretty much what he did to her. We'll get to that. But anyway, he popped off, made music, and then his girlfriend went missing. She was last seen with him, right? People knew they were together, right? And she went missing, and she eventually she got found in the back of a trunk. This was the back of a Tesla trunk, a Tesla that David was renting. So how did she get there? Who did this to her? My opinion, I looked at all the evidence that the police had at the time. You know what I'm saying? I watched the videos at least, and where they went over the evidence that the police had at the time. And I was like, all right, case closed. David did it. He did it, right? Like, does anyone else not see this? Is anyone? No? You see? Did you see it? I know you probably saw it because you're probably smart. I mean, if you were watching my channel, you're probably smart as fuck. So, like I know, he did that shit. But at the time, the police was letting him go because they were gonna charge him. Well, there has been an update on the David case, on David's girlfriend's case. Yeah, well, David is now facing life in prison. We have a video here by Atozy. Let's get to it. Hold on, wrong button. There we go. That's the right one.
One moment you could be at the height of your career. One moment you could be at the height of your career, performing at Coachella, rocking viral video after viral
Links
video,
will be in the description
even
below.
getting your own Fortnite skin. Then fast forward a little bit over a year, and you're in a courtroom facing life in prison and or worse. So with all the information we have right now, it seems like David threw his life away. He's the singer who...
I'm not gonna lie, Atozy. Your editor missed a golden opportunity right there, bro. Like,
with all the information...
You widen your hands, start here. You widen them out. Your name could have just move that right there. Just move it between your hands, And then as you widen your hands, the name widens. You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at, just watch. Okay, watch.
For a year, and you're in a courtroom facing life in prison and or worse. So with all the information we have right now, it seems like David threw his life away. He's the singer who went viral for his whole song Romantic Homicide, and he just pled not guilty to charges of taking the life of a teenage girl who vanished last year. So
by the way, that song Romantic Homicide is the song that people are saying that he made about her. You know what I'm saying? The song pretty much details what happened to her. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of, you know, but anyway.
1 year since she went missing, and around 6 months after she was discovered in an abandoned Tesla that was linked to David, there's finally been some movement towards justice in the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. And it's safe to say, I mean, it is not looking good for David right now, considering he's currently looking at, 3 different sets of charges, all of them equally as serious. Not to mention how long it took for the authorities to actually bring these charges forward. I mean, like I said, it's been half a year. So it's safe to say there's been some serious outrage. I mean, people were mad at the police for not immediately throwing David behind bars when everything was first coming out. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, that shit was obvious to me. What the fuck? Why didn't you throw him behind bars? Was it because he was starting to come up as a musical talent? Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't throw him behind bars. I mean, he is black. I thought they would throw him behind bars right off the jump. Even without evidence, even if he was innocent, I thought they would have thrown him behind bars right off the jump. You know what I'm saying? If you black, you from the South, you've been through some shit, you know what I'm talking about. All right? Don't come at me with this shit. All right? I'm allowed to think that way. I've been through some shit. I'm black. I've lived in the South. half my youth. Mississippi. Fucking, never mind. I'll stop. Another time.
Since, the overwhelming majority of people who did one Google search realized, this doesn't look good for the guy. But again, these sorts of accusations, Google search realized, this doesn't look.
Did David do bad? YouTube, Fantano, David is pure evil. I didn't see that video by Fantano, but I only watch the channel, I
But
guess.
again, these sorts of accusations follow someone forever. And if it did come out that he was not guilty, it would be a terrible look for the police. So, I mean, if there's just a chance that they could be accusing a, massive singer for this horrific crime, that's not one they want to take. But that's not to say that they didn't do anything, because if you look at all the information they just recently released, again, it's not looking good for David whatsoever. And if you saw my last video on this, we saw this arrest coming from a mile away.
He didn't want this, but that's the video I was talking about. I'm pretty sure we did a reaction to the Atozy video. That's that shit. And you see that girl next to him? That's that 14-year-old minor chick that he was dating at the time. She would be in his streams and shit, but you know what I'm saying? They were trying to, I don't know how you expect to keep a relationship like that hidden when she's always in your streams and shit like that, and she's always next to you and she's making faces like this, and like, she's obviously into you. Like, she can't hide her affection for you, and you can't hide your affection for her. People are gonna know that you're dating, even though she's a minor. But hey, bro, you do you. I mean, he did him, and now he's doing him. Now he's probably gonna be getting done, or getting done by other dudes while in prison.
And thank goodness someone's actually being held responsible for this girl's passing. But if you're not fully aware of what I'm talking about, I'll give you some backstory before we go into what's next for David and why he's currently behind bars.
You get double backstory.
David, or David Anthony Burke, he blew up on TikTok in 2022 when he was making his own music to avoid copyright strikes on his own Fortnite edits. Which sounds ridiculous, but I guess he was trying to circumvent the predatory music labels who saw 3 seconds of their own music being used on some 10-minute YouTube video, and then they claim 100% of the revenue from that video. That's a problem in its own. But that turned out to be a blessing in disguise for this guy, because then he realized, he was pretty decent at making music. And when all these Fortnite edits started going viral, people started listening more and more to his music. I mean, the dude was basically an overnight sensation, because he went from being basically a nobody to having millions of followers, being signed to Interscope Records, performing at Coachella, opening for SZA on tour, and creating music that, wildly popular TV shows was using. And fans
also, I'm pretty sure he did that fucking chipmunk voice in his music, that the high-pitched squeaky voice. I don't know about all of his music, but I know he did that in at least one song.
Loved his personality online, and honestly, some of his songs are decently catchy. So I understand why they blew up. Plus, he recorded and produced some of his early music on his phone. So that also intrigued people in wanting to know how he did all this on just his phone. So I guess he had a cool thing going, but his most popular song being titled Romantic Homicide and some of his music videos featuring, you know, bodies in cars, that had people's spidey senses tingling when the remains of a 15-year-old girl was found in a Tesla linked to him. Oh.
But when they were dating, she was 14. Eventually, she obviously hit 15, and then her remains were found. I guess she got out. I guess she aged out of David's liking, and so he just got rid of her. I don't know. Looking forward to promoting. Bro, don't come into my channel with that shit, fam. Like, I'm not trying to like, that's bots and shit. Like, bro. Anyway.
I mean, after seeing that video now, knowing what the allegations towards him are, what kind of self-report is this? This is just unbelievable. And this story is about as horrifying as it gets, because in September of last year, employees at Hollywood Impound, they noticed a foul smell coming from what seemed to be an abandoned Tesla. So when police arrived and searched for the vehicle, they unfortunately found the remains of a 15-year-old girl who was later identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And
I'm gonna guess that David didn't think that she would be found through scent. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing he didn't even think about half the shit that he did.
Immediately, it was reported that the Tesla was connected to David and had originally been abandoned by his rental home before it was towed to the lot. At the time, though, David was actually on his North American tour, and his distance from the tragedy allowed fans to convince themselves that this is just some terrible coincidence that he couldn't possibly be involved in. There's a reason why this channel highlights the internet's most ridiculous moments, just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm.
He was on a tour.
When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions of dollars. And if you're injured by someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. And Morgan & Morgan does not settle for lowball offers. With over $30 billion recovered for clients, Morgan & Morgan knows a thing or two about fighting for the compensation you deserve. And with over 1,000 lawyers and hundreds of offices nationwide, it's kind of like having an entire army on your side. Not all law firms are the same, because if you hire the wrong one, you may lose before you even get started. So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Atozy. And if you end up working with them, their fee is completely free unless you win. And you can find the link at the top of the description down below to see if you actually have a claim. But without further ado, let's continue the video.
Is it really at the top of the description down below? If you ever it is. Well played, Atozy. Well played.
Details started emerging, like the fact the victim even had a matching tattoo with David, and there was seen photos of him and a girl who looks identical to her. It became harder and harder to ignore the signs here.
As D4VD. Now, when this news came out, nobody thought in the slightest that David was actually behind a cold-blooded. I mean, there's no way that a pop artist who recently skyrocketed to fame would just ruin their life by someone, right?
And as I mentioned,
wrong, because he obviously did that shit. I called it as soon as I saw that shit. As soon as I saw the fucking video about it, I was like, nah, he did that shit. Nah, there's no way anybody thought he didn't do that shit.
Last video, I mean, once the dominoes started falling in this case, they were really tumbling quickly, because people started finding more and more evidence that these two were linked a little bit more together than just some vague pictures, because there were Discord messages and Reddit posts that were reported to be from David and his community that started to make it very obvious that David's fans were at least aware of his interest in underage girls.
Bro, it's part of one of my theories is that she was getting ready to drop they had a falling out, that maybe they broke up, and she was getting ready to drop a Google Doc on him on Twitter, so he killed her. That's one of my theories, one of mine.
As well as his,
let me know about your theories in the comments below.
Connection to a girl by name.
Actually, is that dark? Kind of dark. I mean, obviously this isn't something that this is something sad that happened to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, the girl went through what she went through. She's unalived, but you can try to at least make sure other people learn from it. Learn from what she, you know what I'm saying? Learn from what she went through and try not to like fall into the same category. You know what I'm saying? Try to have the same type of events occur to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it also again goes with parents not parenting, because how you gonna let your 14, 15-year-old daughter walk around with this 19-year-old guy and always be at his place and shit like that, and it end up like that. Like sometimes, I have to wonder if her parents were like were trying to monitor her, or they were just trying to give her as much freedom as they can. Like it's cool to give your kids freedom as they start growing up. I'm gonna guess it's cool to give your kids freedom. I don't have kids, so I don't really know. Don't take my word for this. But I'm also gonna guess that even though you're giving them freedom, you don't want to just completely not know what they're doing at all times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Celeste.
You know what I'm
So there was
saying?
even chats
there's a happy medium that you have to find, that you gotta find, right?
with David and a user named Celeste in his Discord server where they were clearly flirting and claiming they were expecting a baby. And then yet other Discord users seem to confidently tell people that
He has a girlfriend, pretty sure he's dating right now. What? Yeah, her name is Celeste.
David and Celeste were dating. And the worst part is there are a few past messages from people in the Discord server calling him out for his part in Celeste's disappearance.
Drop the one with the missing girl Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Oh, that's a reply to what David said about I'm in a song crisis right now. And she's like, hey, why don't you just drop the one where about the missing girl? You know what you did to her.
And trying to solicit young girls in general. So, I mean, clearly this is a horrifying pattern. There were even reportedly a few people in his community trying to get the info out long before Celeste was found. So take these Reddit posts, for example. There were clearly people calling him out. But again, before the discovery of Celeste, and I guess even immediately after, lots of people didn't want to believe their new favorite artist could be capable of doing something this horrific. And I guess they were just kind of throwing all the allegations under the rug like it was some witch hunt. Even though, like I mentioned, his discography didn't exactly paint him out to be a saint. If anything, it only really just implicated him. I mean, just look at these lyrics. This doesn't look good whatsoever.
In the back of my mind, I blanked you, and like in the back of my mind, I ended you. I didn't even regret it. Those are the lyrics he's on screen in case you're only listening. Oh, shit, my bad.
Whatsoever. But even though he maintained his innocence at the time, or at least wasn't addressing the situation, David still canceled the rest of his tour once Celeste was found. And I said this in my last video that this move made sense even if he wasn't guilty of all this, because, you know, the spectacle that started to build around his story would have made it
He did say that, but I was still saying he was guilty.
Possible for a normal show to go on, but certainly it didn't make him look good. But for months, I mean, rumors flew back and forth. The homeowners that David was renting from hired their own private investigators to look into things. Law and Crime was reporting extensively on this, which unfortunately usually was just more speculation and no real movement. So we didn't have too many answers for a long time. And it actually felt like for a while that nothing was happening. People threw out stupid theories like Celeste had probably overdosed and the crime was more moving her. But regardless, you had a kid that lost their life somehow and was left in a trunk for months. This is as bad as it gets. But finally, on April 16th, David was arrested. And on April 20th...
And some people will still try to say he didn't do it. They'll still try to say he's innocent. They will... If you are big enough, you will always find rabid fans in your community that say, or that will say anything they can. Some will even do anything they can to help you prove your innocence. So of course, well, even if you're guilty. So of course, he's gotta have people. He's gotta have fans that are still gonna be like, nope, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And it's like, bro, it's been since the police found the body, it's been obvious. It's messed up if something like this had to happen, bro.
He was formally charged with first-degree murder, as well as murder for financial gain and murder of a witness to an investigation. And it was also released that she was essentially stabbed, which is just horrifying. So that completely invalidates the whole ODing speculation. And the LA District Attorney's Office released a statement claiming this, which is nothing short of just horrifying.
Celeste was just a child under something when David Burke allegedly engaged in relations with her. And she was under
And it doesn't get better because
Fonzie
they
that
also
shit.
dropped a bombshell to, I guess,
Like what throws anyway. When she threatened to expose his criminal conduct and devastate his musical career, Burke allegedly. So that's what she was doing. She wasn't just threatening to go out with public about Doll's relationship. What was she doing criminally, bro? That she was that would push her to, you know what I'm saying, want to expose that. Also, like, you just gotta be careful of who you keep around you, fam. If you're gonna be doing some criminal shit, you gotta be careful of who you keep around you. You can't like, you can't trust everybody. Come on now. Let's see. Burke allegedly ended her. I don't know what that one says. Something and stuff blank in 2 bags that were placed in the front of his car. There, the blank sat for over 4 months in the trunk of his car. Sat there for over 4 months. This is what he just read. Why did he put it on screen?
seemingly confirm a lot of people's suspicions about David's actions. All of this is just so beyond disgusting. But they ended the statement by saying, to Celeste's loved ones, we will get the justice you seek and deserve. And it seems like the statements just got worse and worse. They're saying that he was in fact involved with a minor, and that when he blew up, and I guess she threatened to expose him for his crimes, he decided he only had one choice, which I guess was doing this for financial gain, because what they're alleging he was trying to do was save his music career. And it's all just so tragic. A child had to pay for all this, and the dude still lost his career regardless. And the DA also mentioned that a part of the reason all this took so long for them to press charges.
Asked by the BBC why it took so long to make an arrest, Buchman outlined the difficulties in interviewing multiple people. Seriously? Some of whom were cooperative and some who weren't, plus looking at all the evidence. And that would make it take months? I guess. But I don't know. I feel like if, depending on the case, it would have more manpower, and then that time gets shortened.
Was the condition of Celeste and I guess the cooperation or lack thereof cooperation of some of the witnesses. So just as suspected, they just want to have all of the information possible. And it's safe to say they now have a lot of information. They also found a bazillion gigabytes of the worst possible thing to have on your devices.
What the fuck? Bruh. This kid was on, of course, you know what? I'm not surprised he was trying to be like Epstein.
So that's not good either. I mean, everything about this case is really alleging that David is the worst of the worst of human beings. So now David is being held without bail, and he's had his lawyers enter a not guilty plea for him on Monday. So I guess the dude is just going out kicking and screaming, because I don't think anyone believes him at this point. I am surprised his lawyers do, or honestly, they're probably just doing their job. And obviously they're going for life in prison, but not only life in prison, they're also going for that step up as well. So again, not looking good for David here.
The penalty, not the drop the soap penalty, the you fucked up so bad penalty
here. So regardless, I will be following the updates on this case. I might actually show up to the case as well. We'll see.
You've been showing
I'm
up to
glad
places lately.
Celeste and her family are finally getting some sort of justice, because no kid nor family should ever have to go through something like this. But regardless, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
But yeah, and that's where David's at now. Obviously it's still messed up that the Celeste had to go through what she went through. I mean, her parents have to face that loss, and no parent wants to lose a child before, you know what I'm saying? No parent wants to experience losing a child. Like, they want to go before their children, you know what I'm saying? Well, at least all the good parents. But anyway, let me know what you think about this video. And did you really, or were you one of the ones that really thought that he was gonna be like found innocent, like that he wasn't gonna get arrested? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it really looks like he did that shit. You know what I'm saying? So were you on my side or were you against me? If you ain't with me, you against me. But anyway, that's it for this video. Yeah, don't forget to check out Atozy. Link will be in the description below. And peace and much love to you.